Well, hi, Stacy. Thanks for
Paulie,
joining us.
how you doing?
Well, not not too bad, but you very superstitious?
I love that tune.
But I seriously though, are you superstitious? Because there's a superstition in this country that if you had a bird like bird shit on your hand, that's or
Mhm.
poos on you, that's supposed to be superstitious. That's supposed to be good luck, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't
So
know that.
so
Yeah,
so so anyway, I was out yesterday with Jock, the new hound,
yeah,
and just stopped to chat to a fella actually from the church who does um the sort of what's it the presentation on the computer. He the PowerPoint. Sorry, he does
right.
the PowerPoint at the church, and now because they're in lockdown, he's doing videos and all this kind of stuff. So it's very interesting to speak to Adam. So Jock stood by my side. He decides to have a pee, but his aim is very poor, and I suddenly realised my legs getting wet. So I just wondered if that's good luck or bad luck.
Well, we'll have to see, won't we?
Yeah.
How's the day been since? No, oh, that's too bad. He's a beauty, though,
Yeah,
Jock.
yeah. He's
Beautiful
he's
dog.
he's good.
Yeah.
He was never going to make it as a sheepdog because he's too playful.
Oh, yeah.
He's
I
just
see. Well, I think they have to get really trained early on, but they have
yeah,
such an instinct, the collies. There's a whole herd. There's a guy here on the island who breeds them, and so a lot of people have his offspring. Um, just so smart,
yeah,
amazingly smart dogs.
yeah. This one he's sussed everything out in the first 2 weeks. He's got a trick for everything. He doesn't like anybody to be opening the door without him being having the opportunity to go out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Well, they have that energy about them, don't
Yeah,
they? They are
yeah,
super amped up. I mean,
yeah,
all the time.
yeah,
And the fixation on, I don't know about Jock, but these ones around here, the fixation on a stick or a ball is just,
yeah.
if you could harness that power, it would be amazing, So,
He has got a ball, but he hasn't shown much interest in it.
oh,
I
yeah,
suspect he kind of flunked border collie dog school when he first started.
he may have, maybe he evolved past that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
So
yeah. But anyway, great to have you
great
on.
event, great event
It
this
was,
weekend,
wasn't it?
though.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
congratulations. That's so awesome. You organized that. And
Well,
Richard was in the mind quite a bit, eh? I
yeah,
mean,
but
holy cow. Yeah.
but you know what I mean. It's like people are saying, well, you organised it and all this, and I'm like, yeah, but every so often I got the Paul, could you give me a buzz tomorrow from the headmaster,
Mm, right. Yeah. Yeah.
which was good fun. And it's just really good working with so many great guests and hosts and
Truly
people out
is,
there.
isn't
It's
it?
it's you know it's
Yeah.
it's 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 a pleasure. It's never a
Yeah.
never a burden, is it? It's
You know,
always
yeah, I get a sense of pride quite often over that when you see all those people. It's just like, I'm so proud to be a part of this community.
yes,
It's amazing, because there's so many. I was saying to Mark Hodnott, there's this other, there's a saying. It's like, it's a group of people that might not likely gather anywhere else. It's such a diverse,
yes.
and everyone brings their own talents and skills and eyes, and it's, to me, it's just an amazing community.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're one of those unique ones that's written a load of songs about the case, and
Yeah,
you know,
too
um,
many.
well, I mean, obviously we all are huge admirers of your songs. Still, my number one favorite, "Don't Get Strange."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love Don't Get Strange too, man. I
yeah,
mean, me and Mark just went into the studio this last in January, and he's put live tracks to all these things, or live drums,
yeah,
and so some of them have really beefed up. But to be honest, I would love to read. This is the third time we've done Don't Get Strange. I
yeah.
didn't release the first couple because I didn't like them, but I still want to. I want to get it closer to the original, but I love that tune too. They're kind of done for me, the tunes, in a way. I just I forgot, once I record them, I forget about them, and then but mainly now I'm just really focused on the case again, and the evidence, and doing the sleuthing, and with these recent events, the affidavit, and just more recently the tire tracks. This is once again fired me up to do all this research.
Yeah, I mean that's it's always been great having conversations with you. You know, whether it be here in the borders, on in a live chat, or
Yeah.
you know, I remember having conversations with you in various coffee shops in Australia, which was always good
Yeah,
fun. You
man.
know,
Hey, we've been around.
yeah.
You and I have been around.
Say
Hey,
that
look what I
again.
got on today. I got the
Oh,
yeah. Ask me about the control question T-shirt.
that's an
Thought I'd wear
original.
it just for yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's an.
it is funny that when you say that, because it does seem a little bit like a dream. Like I was in
Yes.
Scotland. One of my favorite footage songs actually is, remember when we were playing in your basement? You were on
Yep.
the oh, It Really Matters.
Yeah,
I love that little that thing that Eunice taped. That was great. And you were on the keys doing that. That
that's
was
right.
fun,
Yeah,
man.
yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
We'll have to do it again.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, let's crack on with what you wanted to
Right.
sort of have a look at in particular. And shall I start off with that photo of Jerese's tweet?
Yeah. Jerese is off, just an amazing researcher. Hey, yeah,
Yeah,
so much interesting work. Yeah. So yeah, but or just in general, the the tire tracks in general are just so exciting for me, you know.
well, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it's you know, you'll always get this cognitive dissonance where people will try and make excuses for anything and everything.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah.
you know, trying to defend the state whose lawyers were absolutely what was the term used by Jerry, backgammoned
Yeah. Yeah.
by
Yeah.
Kathleen. That was such a great move to you know,
Yeah.
to really, you know, take the mick
Well,
out of them.
you know, if anyone hasn't, I forget where the link was. There's a YouTube video of Kathleen in another case in Washington State, and it's I think Michael Ryan off Facebook posted it once, and you get to watch Kathleen in court for an hour,
Mm,
and that is an excellent watch if you're interested to see how quick she is. She's like another level, man, and
yes.
I was, you know, it's one of those moments where you're like, wow, I'm just still watching this stuff. It's has nothing to do with making a murder, but you're other than that, it involves Kathleen, but she's just got she just slays these other lawyers, you know, she's a next level lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching, and I knew that Kathleen Zellner was obviously with Ryan Ferguson.
Mm,
I remember sitting down with Eunice to watch The Dream Killer, the
yeah.
documentary, you know, and I never mentioned anything about the fact that Kathleen Zellner was involved. But you know, when it got to you know, the first mention of Kathleen Zellner taking on Ryan Ferguson's case, you know, she let out a cheer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, as suspect a lot of people would do, you know, when they see her in
Yeah.
action.
Hey, you know what? I mean, I wrote that one song. It says she's a true life hero, one we should emulate. She
Yep,
really is.
yep,
And it's, to me, it's indicative of uh or emblematic of the whole case here. You look at the Stephen Avery case and all those nefarious or alleged, you know, the people we think in the state are crooked or bad cops or planters or whatever, even Kratz and the boys, it's like the old boys network, you
yep,
know? And to me, this is just an abstract of Kathleen represents this new, you know, power of the feminine coming up, and they have more integrity. And she's actually, she is in a way a true life hero. She saves people, you know?
well, like absolutely, you know,
Yeah.
people that have been buried alive.
Yeah.
um and she goes all in, as do a lot of us, don't you know, we you know,
Yeah.
we don't go half-hearted at it. And
And like
Jerice.
I've said before, you have this when someone stands up and does that within themselves, like Kathleen or all of us, it sparks other people in just the most minor way, and that's the beauty of this sort of growth and momentum we get.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So
But yeah.
this is Jerice's a picture of Jerice's tweet. So this is November 11th of 2005, and Jerice,
Right.
you know, found this clip from 11:05. Given an indication of the ditch, the X would be about where the ATV is.
Hmm. Right.
So where that vehicle is, it that, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that. But I don't. Yeah.
But like I was saying off camera there, as you see the depth of that ditch,
Yes.
you would, because some people are criticizing the arc of where the car tracks are, and it's too wide, or they're criticizing that. But I go, if you're coming off that road, you actually want to take a wide arc, because you don't want to get stuck in that middle trough, that low spot, because that's where all the moisture and gathers. So here in Canada, we have sides of roads like this as well. And if you get pushed off, or you have to divert a deer or something, you do go off at a 45 angle, you go up that bank, and then you circle around, just so you get through that wet low spot. You don't want to get stuck there. And so I posted or replied to a tweet that this little reference picture that Therese has given us is further corroboration that those arcs, that's not an odd thing,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It was, as you say, you got in touch with MK.
I just sent I don't know them, and I just sent them a direct message saying, hey, this is actually so big. This, I think it is, I don't know why it's not being talked a little bit more about, because to me, the actual, the chance that those tire tracks are in the spot where Tom Sawinski put the X, it's just, it's a very good support for his affidavit. And what I was earlier saying was, for me, it's not so much, it is that, but it's also that I think a week ago, whoever's involved in this, say Bobby and the bearded man, they were probably they might have felt a little pressure, but maybe the state, or, hey, we can deal with this, it's going to go away, it's no big deal. But now it puts the heat on, and it makes a crack. I just hope there's a few more things like this, because all it takes is one person to feel too much heat, and then they crack. And once one person goes, that is coming down, and so that's my hope. I'm super excited about this.
Yep. I mean, another thing you've often talked about is, that sometimes things are set up, and it's not an explicit, you will do this, you will do that. It's how things are implied, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the intimidation, say, as I've said many times, I've always thought law enforcement was involved in this. I just can't believe that this is a fortuitous event and they took advantage of it. When you take into account the Kathy Williford sort of stories where people were, and the alleged surveillance of the Averys beforehand and stuff like that, you don't have to set this thing up like on a map. It's just implied intimidation. There's a culture, and just from the first case, it's actually, it's like a lyric in TikTok Walk. It's I wrote, you don't say nothing because you know your cops. So you know what they can do. And similar to Kratz's closing statement, I always thought that was a threat in his closing statements, going, you have to believe your cops. He's sort of emphasizing that you're going to have to live here if you, and all the, Ricky Hotstettler and all that. So there's a culture of intimidation and fear in that area. So I think they leveraged a bunch of people, and that's why it's so hard to figure out. I think Bobby, Scott, Ryan, all these people were, even Scott Blodorn, who knows? I mean, they're scared to act out against the mafia.
The law mafia.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. We've only got to go with the what was it, Pete Bates? Just after I first started following the case, he talked about that Deborah Kakach, didn't he? About the coming to a road traffic accident, and some sheriff's officer running over the victim.
Yeah.
The police are saying, you're in your report, you'll just mention the cause of death being the initial accident, won't you?
Right. Yeah.
She's like, no, I'll write whatever the cause of, she wasn't prepared to go along. And she eventually got intimidated away from Manitowoc, didn't she? She had to
Yeah. And you look at, she's an excellent example of someone, and I don't know her character completely, but she
Sure.
seems like she has integrity. And those people in Manitowoc are chastised, or they get nothing, what is it? They get like something bad. They don't get promotions. It's the people that play the ball.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that get awards, get promotions, and and so, that organization in Manitowoc is a long-standing club, as you know, it's hard to, like, when I look realistically at this case. I was talking with Mark Hodnott and Saperkop the other night, sort of put out his sort of trajectory of how the case is going to go, and there's a part of me that's pessimistic that goes, this corruption goes so far up that poor Stephen Avery, he's going to be languishing, to use that word, for a while.
Well, yeah, as we've seen in the local level, as soon as Angela Sutkovich discovers that Tom Fallon has agreed with Kathleen Zellner to let her get access to the RAV4, and as soon as he gets in touch with Calumet County Sheriff's Department, Mark Wiegert, we need to get this RAV4 sorted out. Wham bam, Angela shuts it all down. It's a protection racket, isn't it? Looking after
exactly.
everybody.
Yeah, and you just don't know. So us lay people, we want to believe that, hey, we can exist on the county level. That's kind of normal, par for the course. But as you get up further, you're supposed to have more integrity. But to be honest, with our talk with Rob Bellin the other day, I don't have faith that, I think it goes higher than just, county. I think that corruption in that particular state goes quite a bit, high.
Was that not the main problem with the fact that Steve exonerated 2003? They're taking depositions, in October 2005, and it's partly the embarrassment of the fact that they wrongly, convicted Steve. It's partly the fact that they're being sued in a civil suit and could lose, financially quite a bit. But it's also surely that the fact that there was this Stephen Avery task force, and then there was going to be, presumably, because Peg Lautenschlager had initially sort of rubber stamped the fact that whitewashed and said, there's nothing really here, just a lack of communication. And then they find out about the phone call that was never presented to her. I would imagine that there would have been quite an inquiry into this, and people need to protect, and they don't need a higher authority coming in and looking at what's going on.
Yeah, that's that would be ideal, wouldn't it? But what kind of can of worms would they, but there's this thing, like in Making a Murder, that Peterson, it'd be easier to kill him. That gets a lot of focus because it's such a bizarre statement from a law enforcement agency. But an equal one for me, it really made my head scratch. And you've mentioned it a couple of times, is Gundrum, when he says, oh, after he's charged with this crime, you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but you just can't. And I go, this is a lawyer and now a judge.
Yeah.
And I go, that is mind-boggling to me, that it comes out of his. So this man has some sort of threshold that once you hear something, oh, well, in this presumption of innocence is gone, especially given the scenario, that he was Stephen suing them. So one of the things, that really bothers me is that we are stuck in this scenario where we trust innately in our mind. We think that police are law-abiding people, and as Jerry Buting says in his book, they have law officers and DAs. They have this presumption of virtue, and they use it. And once you are able to use that, but they have no integrity, they're very dangerous. And so, just like I think jurors said, we look at the motive they used for Stephen was sexual or something. They really focus on that. They're looking for pornography on his computer. They don't find it. But meanwhile, at the same time, they're finding all this stuff on Bobby's, and they just, well, they don't even, it's a double standard beyond reckoning. And so, as I was saying beforehand, if this affidavit is true, it has nothing to do with item FL, which was found 3 months later, bone or wood chips and paint in it, waxy substance on it. The DNA wash is all used up, can never test it again. If that, to me, is it's just blatantly planted bullet, and if the law enforcement has done that, it's just like Buting said in the first Making Murder. If they did that, then it's easily, you can go, they did. What can you trust from them? Yeah. And Kathleen's unearthed the swab, the groin swab switch. So yeah, it's a case. I mean, it's amazing, you know, but I really love this tracks, these new tracks, because I think more importantly, like I said earlier, is it's going to put pressure on the peripheral actors that might crack earlier. Yeah. So
I mean, certainly going back to the Gundrum situation, I get the sense that people were quite happy to be seen with Stephen Avery as an exoneree, when he's, you know, photo opportunities and you know, from a political point of view. And as soon as he got arrested, they just wanted to distance themselves, didn't they? They didn't want it. And particularly somebody like Mark Gundrum coming out with that, it's like he's trying to really disassociate himself with Stephen Avery, as if, you know, right. I can't believe that this guy did it, but you know, you know, and another thing you touched on there was the fact that there is all this evidence that as yet we've never had an evidentiary hearing on, and therefore, you know, when Angie dismisses, you know, all these motions for hearing by Zellner, so that the state are not having to give an explanation. At some point, right. they are going to have to give an explanation for all this. You know, try and explain, you know, wood fragments on a bullet that supposedly went through her skull. That's going to be mind-boggling. For me, the big one is this handing back of the cremains. Yeah. It's, you know, and it was presented at the time. I remember the dude talking about it, about a something deputy, you know, they're trying to say, well, it was just the deputy that organized this rounding up of the bones, and you know, didn't really know what he was doing, kind of thing, you know, when in fact you've got Uyghur, you've got, you know, Fallon and Norm Gahn, yeah, the guy that, like, and there's that he wrote the preservation of evidence statute, but there's a report where it says they all gathered and decided, right? And so that, to me, once again, is a little bit of the hubris of the state going, you know what, this is okay, we can get by this, we got the right strings we can pull. And as I was talking to the HOD there, when you are looking at corruption, you just go to the Brendan's on bank. You know, the dude he went on about how rare it was to get an on-bank review allowed. And so you just wonder, as these things stack up, 6 Brady's now, or potential Brady's. And so it's just, you know, the worrying part is, remember when Rob Bellin on the weekend was talking about the Michael Funk case and how procedurally he was barred from. That's where the worry goes, you know, that Wisconsin's going to heavily rely on procedural bar, and they're not actually after the truth, you know, and that seems to be the case anyways, but maybe, let's hope, you know, it's a messed up case, as you said. You know, it is, but we'll keep following it, and it's just great that you've got people out there that are gone to the trouble of looking at footage and finding out this stuff. And you were talking about the fact that, you know, imagine how great a moment that was for MK Universal. Fine. You know,
that'd be so cool. I love that. I get as much enjoyment when I think about that as that person might have, you know. Just like I was saying, when Jinxie did in the Don Lewis case, when she realized those signatures were forged, that must just be such an exhilarating, like, oh my God. So hopefully there's more and more people feeling that, hey, as
Yes.
we uncover. So, but you know, as I was saying, it's like the group is such, yeah, we all bring a different thing, you know. I do a lot of reading on it, but I'm not a research. I try, but I haven't struck gold yet on
No.
the researching thing. But there's some people just amazing. And on a Reddit, some of those people that produce these documents that are just high level, you know, analysis,
Yep.
case file reviewer and tedious and all these,
Yes.
you know, all the ones over the years. Super, I'm just humbled by them, you know, and appreciative. And people like yourself, it takes and I would just say this to Richard too, you know, what you're doing is not a small thing. You are a lifeline to all these, it's like a hub, you know, and
Yes.
because Richard and I would talk often about this, you know, and I'd say, hey, what you're doing is important, man. So, and he would say the same thing to me. I'd say, yeah, well, these are just little songs that help people, you know, stay interested, or it's a little aside, but it's still connected to the case. But all these channels and these mammothons and keep walking till they're talking, it all adds up, you know. That's the force of the community that can battle the power of the state, really.
Yes. Yeah.
The group. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think if I'm proud of one thing, it's the fact that the first Mammothon was 4 channels.
Yeah.
Lots of guests, but just the 4 channels. Then we increased it in the second Mammothon to 8 channels. In
Yeah.
between, we've had the virtual rally, and we had the weekend that Jane and Diane organized to do with wrongful
Yeah.
convictions. And then the one we've just had, when you think there was, I counted it up, you know, 12 different YouTube channels, you know,
Yeah.
putting stuff out. And then you look at the fact that, you know, the some of the bigger names in the sort of legal world getting
Yeah.
involved, you know, your
Feuding.
Jerry
Yeah.
Buting, your Vic Fassells, you know, your Mark Godses.
Yeah.
It's
That
just,
was an awesome book, hey? Mark's
yes,
book. I
yes,
read that quite a few years ago, and I was trying to promote it online a bit. But if anyone has not read that, you can do the audio version or the thing. It's what's the title of it again? It's like
it's Blind
uh
Injustice, and
yeah, Blind Injustice.
I've
And that gives you such an interesting look at the mindset of both the prosecutor, because he was one, and then he
yes,
became founder of the Ohio Innocence Project, I believe. And
yes,
the two mindsets. So it's like Moby Dick's eyes, you know, he's seeing one thing from, and then uh, different things, but he came around to the good, you know, in my
yeah,
mind. And
yes,
yeah, it's a great read, you know, all the
it is,
books actually, I mean, other than Kratz's and, well, not all of them, but Illusion of Justice is another, just it's about making a murder, but it also touches on the dynamics of the criminal justice system. And I find that stuff fascinating.
yes.
Yeah.
Me,
So,
me, me too. It's the number of books that I've read now. I mean, the 2 by Michael Cicchini, Convicting Avery, and Anatomy of a False Confession. One's about Steve, one's about Brendan. Brilliant,
right.
brilliant, brilliant stuff that he talks about.
I got to read those actually, because I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that interview you did with him. Or
Yeah.
was it you, or was it, yeah, or Tracy? Someone had one with him.
The very first time that we had Mammothon, it was Tracy that interviewed Michael
Right,
Cicchini, and
right.
I've had him on a couple of times since.
Yeah, yeah. I've
Um,
seen him with you, I think.
yeah, that's right. And he also tweets under the name of the Legal Watchdog.
No,
But
I'll follow him. I haven't
a
followed him.
really interesting thing is that he's done a lot of work alongside Professor Larry White, and of course Professor Larry White is the one in Making a Murderer that talks about Brendan's confession.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's interesting. And the other thing I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I hear that you've had a bit of a conversation with Dr. Larry Farwell of
I
the
did.
brain
Yeah,
fingerprinting.
yeah. And so hopefully you or Mark or someone will be able to reach out and have a
Yeah,
chat. You know, I I don't. I often thought about starting my own channel, like you
I
guys
think
do, but I don't have the Wi-Fi. Mine drops all the time. As soon as it's a weekend or at night, you know, I'm on a virtually glorified mobile connection. So as people come home from work,
yeah,
those bandwidths gets and it starts dropping. But I would love for people to or you or Mark to interview Larry, because he's got I have so many questions about the how you frame a question in that brain
yes,
fingerprinting. And I've actually talked to him quite a few times on Messenger. Super nice guy, and
Yeah.
but you know, and that's one of my favorite songs too.
It is. It is. I mean, look, you know, man, I just remember walking through Melbourne, and Mark's got his ghetto blaster, isn't it? You know, and he's
Yeah,
playing all the songs, you know.
You
And
know,
I thought,
I look forward. I know that we're all going to be. We're either going to be in Australia, Canada, or United States or Scotland again. So it'll just be unfortunately, the three of us. But
yeah.
it'll be Richard will be there, but that's like a super fun part of my life, you know, in the memory. So
Yeah.
look forward to more times.
I just remember the fact that, you know, I'm sat there at Sydney Airport, I'm having a coffee, and I'm thinking any moment now I'm going to get to meet the dude, and you know, I see Mark, and the dude, all he wants to do, he's gone for how many hours he's gone without a cigarette, and he's just desperate to go outside, have a cigarette, and then you creep up from the side. It's like, wow.
That was so cool. It seems like a lifetime ago, to be honest. You know, seems like a long time ago. Funny, it was just you know, in the console of the car and stuff.
Yep.
I just put stuff. It's a mess. You know, if I open that little contraption in between the seats, it's just papers and receipts. And I was rooting around for something, and I found 15 Aussie dollars.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And so I thought, oh, I hope I get jabbed here with a vaccine on the 29th. And so hopefully that'll, you know, free up some travel in the next year or so.
Yeah, yeah. But what was so funny was that having sidestepped me the first time, you know, you then did it again in Galashiels.
What's that?
With the Hodge, you know.
Oh yeah,
you
that's
know,
right. Yeah.
You know,
That was fun. I forgot about that, Paul.
Yeah.
on the train station there.
That's right. Yeah, and I'm looking.
Yeah.
Because you've deliberately gone and stood at the other end of the train.
Oh, that's
to get
right.
off that different exit. So you know, and of course, Eunice had she really hadn't given the game away, because she said, you know, well, I want both spare bedrooms made up. I want them made up.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
And it never occurred to me. It was just a case of, you know, so that you know, the Hod could have his choice of rooms, you know.
Yeah.
Never occurred to me that that's what she was doing, you know.
Yeah, those are I'm glad you bring those up. I remember certain things, and then you bring them back. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that whole train trip up there with Mark, and then we went out for that nice Indian meal and all that. So I hope to see you again up there. It was so short. That was like 2 days or something we were there. Hey Eunice, how are you doing? Hey, nice to see you. So nice, eh?
Get up on the train.
Yeah. How you liking the new pup?
Yes.
Hey, there you are. Hey, nice. All right. Are you guys getting vaccinated up there, or how's the
I'm an old I'm an old fat git, so I got vaccinated a long time ago.
Oh wow. Yeah. Nice to see you, Eunice.
Yeah.
Obviously trying to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, tough, eh?
Yeah, I had mine just a couple of weeks ago, so I'm at college tonight, so I'm nipping down for a quick cigarette and then back upstairs to find out what's going on upstairs. I'm doing my counselling, so.
All right. Well, it's nice to see you. I miss you guys.
How you doing?
Yeah, life's good. Well, it's lots of excitement for the case and stuff, so that's always nice. But yeah, just plodding on. Hopefully this life will get back to normal. And I was saying to Paul, hopefully we'll see you in the next year or so. Either you guys come down here or we go up there.
That would be amazing. That'd be
fun, eh? Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, so
be really good. Yeah, we've got trying to save, but obviously it's difficult with money circumstances and stuff. But you know, what's going on? But we'll hopefully we will be able to.
Yeah. No, the future is, you know, you never know. It's like anything can happen all the time. So
absolutely.
I don't know if I'll ever go back to Wisconsin though. I don't know.
Oh, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I think the only time that I would be tempted to go back is if Steve and Bryn got out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I could see myself going to the rally, but maybe not this year. Let things calm down in the States with all the COVID. They have so much, you know, so, but
we're very lucky actually. We've not had, I mean, obviously we've had a few deaths, but you know, we're quite isolated, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I live on it, so yeah.
Yeah, so we've been
no real
very fortunate.
Yeah.
So
Hey, well,
anyway,
have fun at college.
yeah, well, take care.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice seeing
Hey,
you.
nice seeing you.
Take care.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Okay. You too. Bye bye.
My vote would be that we meet up in Holland, in the Netherlands.
Yeah, let's do it.
That would be good
Let's do it.
because that would be good for Roll Griffin and Jerice,
Yeah.
and it would be good for Jerome.
George and George is Stulin, is it?
Yeah, Georgina Stulin, yes.
Georgina, yeah.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Hod likes Amsterdam, and
That'd be fun.
and the dude kept asking me when I was there about getting my my fill of wacky backy and visiting the coffee shops. And when Mark had finished with Jerry Butin, he was talking about wanting to go and travel, and I was saying to him, I would definitely go back to Holland and Amsterdam and have a bit of fun there.
Yeah, well, let's do it. Let's make a plan. And it'll be I really just want to I was thinking about Amsterdam because I would love to. Joris is and Rule as well. I'd like to meet these guys just and have like a visit, because
Yes,
both of them are, and there's a few people on the see Jerome as well. Like these, it's great when I met Jane and Diane.
yeah.
You meet, it's just like that rally, you meet them and 5 hours later you're still talking, but you've actually never met them, but and so I love meeting the people from the groups,
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So
what have you got on for the rest of the day then, Stacey? You haven't headed
I'm heading to
did you say?
town. Yeah. I said I live on a small island, so it's a 20 or 12-minute ride ferry, and then about a 20-minute drive. And so I'm going to get supplies. I'm in the construction industry, and so there's a building boom here, and everything's so expensive now. It's so I'm going to get materials and then go back to work probably tomorrow. It's one of the things. It's kind of like a island time type mentality, because you don't have the infrastructure here. So if you need materials, it's a day to go get them and come back. So it's a day of work, but not real heavy work, So
Sure.
and mainly is I listened to stuff, and I was watching two blokes from. One looked a lot like you, and one was from Amsterdam. There's a YouTube channel there. I listened to that stuff on the way in, and that's my day. So and then probably tonight I'll do stuff with the case, to be honest.
Yeah.
So how about you? What time is it there?
It's 7:15. So yes, I've already done my 10,000 steps with Jock today, all the way.
All right.
All the way around those huge. We've got a place called Netherdale, which is there's a football pitch where the football team and the rugby team play, and then there's a huge area where they've got several rugby pitches and football pitches that like the junior teams play on.
Yeah.
And this whole area, you can walk all the way around it with the dog. It takes a fair walk to do that. So I've already done my 10,000 steps for the day.
So you'll be doing more videos, maybe interviewing more people, researching, keep her going.
I think tomorrow we've got this Jane and on Jane's channel like a debriefing. So I don't know. I don't know if they've been in touch with you yet, but
no, I don't know. No, I don't think they have, but
right.
They could have been. But Paul, this brings me to another. I was thinking this earlier with the weekend event. You've done such a great job picking up the slack, because Richard was such a force in that in the community. He was you really, I super appreciate your effort, and Mill Billy's as well.
Yeah.
It's like, because it does take, when Richard passed, obviously in my mind, I was like, oh, well, someone's got to, maybe I should start doing this, but it's not my forte. And I'm super appreciative of you and Foul Play and these other people. Everyone's kind of just picked up a little bit of, and it's kept the community together. I was going to suggest to Paul or to Mark that I think you should be flying the banner now. I think we should get it shipped up from California, and you have it in your studio, because you certainly deserve it.
Yes, I think the plan is to get the banner at some point. Alternatively, I have looked into the possibility of simply getting one made here. So
no, we need the real one. That's the whole. Yeah. It wants to travel the world, man.
It does,
and then we bring it to Amsterdam.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. Yeah.
You've reminded me of the film Amelie, where the garden gnome goes all over the place with the air
Oh, right.
stewardess.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
when she
Yeah.
hands the gnome back, having sent postcards of the gnome in various
That's right.
countries
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
father, and when
Yeah.
she hands the gnome back, Emily says to her, "Thanks very much." She says, "It's okay. The damage has been done. I'm known as Snow White."
Well, hey, no, but seriously, you're doing
Yeah.
awesome, and I appreciate it. And thanks for having me on, man.
Oh.
And I hope to see you in Eunice again. I love you guys.
Absolutely. Yep. Look forward to that. And
Okay.
and the hod.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Okay. I'm going to say
Okay.
cheerio.
Well, thanks for the chat, and we'll see you at some point, man.
Perfect. I'll probably schedule this for later on your time, so that
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
sort of an evening time for you later on. Okay.
right on. Okay, Paulie.
Catch you later.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye bye for now. Bye bye.